Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs.
Why? God. Uh,
Hey everyone, welcome to Can't Draw Horses Club. I got
I'm leaving.
Az with me
Bye.
today. Az, known Reese's Puffs lover,
I mean, I am,
connoisseur
but
of.
also shut up. Uh, that song has been stuck in my partner's head for a couple of weeks now.
Yep, Ian's a big fan, and whenever I sing it instead of him, he's like, "No, you can't make porn." And I'm like, "Then stop."
Hi, friends. I'm very sorry.
So today, as a group, we're going to be experiencing clothing.
Did you? Did you have to say it like that?
No, clearly.
Like,
Yeah, but you made it like you put together a whole
I
project
know.
for
I
this.
know you're upset that I took something seriously, and so you're trying to overcompensate by being chaos incarnate. I get it. Prove me wrong. Oh, hi, Peter. It's nice to see you. That was the person.
That's the
This
person. Hi, the
that's
person.
you. This is Trevor is super cool. As is,
Shit, I'm gonna look up what you said their name might have been.
I thought it was Tree Door. Listen, I have a bad memory. I was close. I was like, so the Trevor and the human that they are attached to, I'm assuming probably anyway, I'm not going to make assumptions. But I met them in person and they're super sweet and apparently we live close to each other. So that's fun.
I'm glad you got to experience that.
The being recognized in public
Yep.
thing. Yeah, it threw my mom through for a loop. She's like, "Why are these people talking to you?" She also wanted to know why they were calling me Az. Don't worry, you did not out me to my mom. But it was very entertaining. Anyway, hi friends. Don't get me started. Last time I was on with my dear sweet Corey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She just like I don't even remember exactly what happened, but you made like a half comment, half about how you're like, I wish I could draw clothes, or I wish I knew how to. Like, I'm not very good at it. And
Sounds like me.
yeah, it does. And I was like, well, if you want to learn, because every single time we do this, we think of this like the dumbest.
You were about
thing
to say the
possible.
stupidest.
Yeah. We
Okay,
always
ripping
manage
off
to think of
Drawfee isn't a stupid idea.
we just always think of the most like random, like nonsensical shit we can think of. And I was just like, um, I'm actually pretty good at that. Like as an artist, like I know I goof around a lot, but I am legitimately pretty good at that. I get complimented on my clothing. And so I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to teach you how to draw clothes. I see all these like silly things that get posted on Instagram where they're like, oh, here's how clothes work. And it's like, yeah, that's okay, I guess. But like, I don't
Gotta
know.
draw
There's
your pleats on your skirt.
exactly. I mean, listen, when you start drawing because you watch a lot of anime, you draw a lot of pleated skirts. So I got good at it pretty early. But yeah, so I wanted to start off with pretty basic information that I feel like we all kind of already know. Oh no. I'm gonna be scared when I click this, aren't I?
I'm gonna click it.
Worst clothes.
MTV CDM has posted some fashion to the
That's
chat.
just a Muppet.
It looks like Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh yeah. It looks like an eyeball on top of a feather duster.
I'd wear it. Not the shoes. Not the shoes. I'd get different clear shoes, but
that headpiece, oh, beautiful, perfect. Okay, so when you think about clothing, and specifically the thing everybody freaks out about, which is the folds, which is the thing we're focusing on, right? You have very obvious things that you would be paying attention to, like say you have a piece of fabric, right?
mm-hmm.
But gravity would not affect this piece of fabric by having it just sit there like that unless it was lying flat on the ground. So let's say you took a pin and you pinned this piece of fabric here.
I'm gonna try to follow along.
And you pinned it here. So obviously, you know, gravity goes down, right?
Do it.
So what would end up happening is, if you think about it, the fabric would end up being pulled down by gravity where it's not being held up. So it's going to slowly start to sloop or, scoop down in the center, but it'll stay upwards up here because it's being held in place. But when this folds down like that, because it's being held, dang it, you just stop hitting my button. The enemy's clothes are down. Thanks, Peach. When you do that, then you would start to see folds start to happen right there on the very top of where the fabric starts to fold over itself.
Like deli meat.
Yes, like deli meat. And then in similar fashion, because gravity, well, this wouldn't be flat down here either. So this would also kind of fold down because there would be like a ripple effect, like in a pond. So like there would be an effect down there. And then of course you're going to have like little, and then you can, this is like the very basic version. But if you think about it, there will be little wrinkles here and there from where it falls. But what if you took the same piece and you held it up in 3 points?
Difficult.
Well, it would do the same thing, right? It would do that. And then they would fold down. But then you'd start getting this weird, like, interaction down here from where the folds start to interact. And now here's the fun thing. Most people don't actually fully understand how fabric fully folds. Or they don't like really pay extreme detailed attention. So I find that sometimes when you just want something to sort of give the illusion of movement, you don't really have to worry about it looking exactly correct because fabric will flow very entertainingly. So one thing I always learned was just to figure out like anchor lines, for lack of a better way of putting it, where like, the fabric would be folded here. So here's some anchor lines in a fold. That's what these are right here. Lines that come down from where it's pinned, where the fabric would be, held together very tightly. You can have all these kind of establishing lines there. And then from there, you just sort of kind of figure out what looks right. Just use your artistic eye. At least that's to me. Like, I was always, so here's the thing, is like, I was always told growing up that it had to look right.
Yeah.
It had to look, and that was instilled in me for so long that it actually significantly held me back as an artist. And so now I try to be a little bit more loose, and I try to let what looks right take precedence over what like an image, like what a reference image would have. You know what I mean?
Right. So, well,
Like,
I mean, like, because you're generally kind of simplifying
yes, you're
stuff.
simplifying it. So like don't beat yourself up, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to instill in anybody this feeling of a need to be an exact perfect replication of something.
Uh-huh.
I had a very realism oriented artist father, let's just put it that way. Not had, he's still alive, but you know what I mean. That was what I was raised by. Yeah, be kind to yourself, exactly.
Okay, so all right. So with the anchor lines, when it
Yes.
swoops down, it kind of pouches, right?
Mhm.
And then it kind of folds over itself.
Mhm.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Cuz that fabric has to go somewhere, and so it's going to start to like fold over itself and create all of those lines that you see.
All right.
And like, for instance, if you were coloring this, a lot of these folds would let me get a good. A lot of these would be like you would be darker here, and then it would be slowly getting lighter, and then you might hit another fold and suddenly it gets dark again, and then there'll be a little bit of fallout from there, and then you'll have lots of darker lines up where it's kind of held because that's where those shadows are. But then as you get out to these lighter ones, you won't get as much of a light difference, so you'll start to do less light, like lighter shading and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that's when you start getting more into like creating the actual shadow depth. But I'm not starting you there. We're just talking about thinking about the way that the fabrics lay on each other and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then, you know, for the ultimate extremely wavy thing, there's the piece of fabric that's only held up by one piece.
Oh no. Okay. Okay.
I'm glad you understand. Yeah, I love my dad very dearly, but being raised by an artist, especially one that is very heavily oriented towards realism, can create a very odd dynamic, especially when you start out drawing really cartoony things like anime. There you go.
Yeah, I did it.
So yeah, like, you know, as you get down farther, there's going to be more and more fabric, so it'll slowly start to spread out because it has more bulk to
Body.
try and body. And then you've got all the like the lines, and obviously it could fall in like a million different ways because that's the joys of like folds in fabric, right? But essentially, and just think of like if when you see a towel hung up on a hook.
Yeah.
And then there's one other minor little thing I wanted to go over
Okay.
that will make a significant difference in your folds when you get to specifically drawing clothing, and that is the thickness of the fabric. So if you have a piece of fabric, oops, I need to stop using the wrong pen. If you have a piece of fabric that's two pieces of fabric that are the same size, right? But like, say this one is made out of leather and this one is made out of silk.
Ah.
So you put two anchor points on a piece of leather, there's not really a lot of like give there on the fabric because it's so thick, it's very taut.
It's like
So
cardboard.
it's not really gonna, like, it will sink a little bit depending on how tight it is attached to whatever it's attached to, but there will be a little bit, right? Like, because gravity. but there won't be nearly as much as there would be with silk, because silk is very flowy. So, like, silk could have multiple folds as it's falling, or like multiple little wibbles. It could fall over itself. It could create, things within things depending on how the wind hits it. So you want to keep in mind, like, is somebody wearing a pair of denim pants or is somebody wearing a pair of silk pants? There's going to be very different types of folds that will happen on the clothing based off of the type of clothing that they're wearing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going over things that I learned. If I am being like completely childish and teaching you basic geometry, I apologize, but I'm just trying to lesson.
Drying silk pants.
Hey, silk pants exist.
I have some.
I also have, well, do I still have them? I used to.
It's just a lot of wibblies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just go
But
everywhere. The pants have a life of their own.
They do a little bit. The one thing I will say is that I did need to teach myself over time is that sometimes less is more when it comes to folds. Just because something has a lot of folds in it doesn't mean you have to draw all of them. As long as the folds that you are incorporating into what you're drawing give the illusion of the movement that you want it to give. We'll get into that more as we get farther in, but don't worry. What I'm saying is don't worry too much about the massive amounts of lines or folds or whatever. Don't overthink it too much.
All right.
Unless you really want to.
Oh, I want to.
I know. I should have guessed knowing you.
All right. Bring it on.
Okay, so your first test is to
test already. I didn't study. I am wearing clothes, right? Okay, good.
First, activity?
Yeah.
Will that make you feel better?
Let's do it.
And if you do it properly, I'll give you a gold star.
Now I'm motivated.
So I want you to take the picture of the skirt that I sent you.
Kablam.
And I want you to, if you really want to trace it, you can trace it. I want you to draw the skirt.
Okay. Draw the skirt.
I will draw the skirt alongside you.
All right. I'm gonna move it over. Wait, that's the wrong move. Squooch.
Oh no. Don't oh no me. That's not that bad of a skirt to draw.
Okay. Just gonna draw it beside.
There you go. It doesn't even have to be perfect. It just is.
I'm gonna draw it perfect.
Okay, I believe you. I believe in you.
It's like wow. It's all scrinkly at the bottom. All right.
So something I like to do when I'm drawing folds and I'm just replicating is I'll start to look at my reference. So you see here on the right side,
yeah,
right? You've got this one little peak here. And then there's not really, like, there's a little bit of folding, but you don't need to include that because that's just wrinkling from the fabric. The biggest fold next is this, right? So then what I do is I'll just go, okay, this sort of meets up near there, so it goes up there and then it comes down here. And then there's another fold. So then we start looking at where does this one go? This one goes up and it follows more towards like the actual waist. So then we do something like that. And then you just kind of like follow the folds as they go and see, and it can start to give you like an idea of where the fabric is going to fall and stuff like that.
This is taking like all of my concentration.
I mean, I'll take it. That means you're learning, I guess.
It doesn't usually hurt this much.
Yeah, probably a lighting trick about the weirdness of the skirt. Also, I'm pretty sure that this was like a sort of photoshopped, like AliExpress skirt image because I saw the exact same image multiple times, uh, but in different colors. Now Corey's just concentrating.
Yeah,
She's in it to win it.
I gotta get that gold star. I guess you're doing a little bit of shading too. I think that would help me separate the stuff I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean that never hurts to.
Yes.
You know you can change the size of your pen, right?
Nope.
You don't just have to scribble it like it's a single pencil. Oh, Corey, you're killing me.
Ah. Good. Revenge. Finally.
Oh, is that what that's your whole scheme?
Yeah.
You're like, get me really dedicated about a subject matter so that you could screw with me the entire time.
A little bit.
You're rude. Yeah, do you see what I have to put up with? Nonsense.
It's called friendship, as.
Oh boy.
It's just the cost of doing business.
If this is the cost of doing business with you, it might be a little too high for my blood. I'm not sure yet.
Too bad.
Still thinking of it. You know, I would like to believe that with friends like these, I don't need enemies, but somehow I still have enemies anyway.
Aw.
Yeah, it's called friendship, man. Oh. Called friendship, sweaty. I will love forever and ever saying sweaty instead of sweetie.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect. Like, come on, sweaty. Let's go home. You've had enough today, sweaty.
I like all your scribble marks. They're very
Evocative.
yes.
Come on, chat. Back me up on this. It's my
Yeah,
club.
Yeah, chat. Talk that away, why don't you?
Ah. No.
Ooh, getting buried already.
Oh.
Rough beat.
Come on, Chad. You gotta have my back. Chad. Chad, don't leave me.
No. Sorry, sweaty.
Skirt. Yeah.
Ooh. Do
Make
they
a-
get kicked out if they don't back you up, Corey?
No, but I like this recommendation to make the pen smaller so I can scribble more.
I don't like you. Don't give her ideas.
I'm gonna make it green. Just
Oh, there
all
you
the
go.
same green.
Add green scribbles.
Dense watercolor. Boop a doop a doop.
Oh wow. Well, that's gone. Drawings just disappeared.
Different green.
Oh,
It's more
oh,
of a blue.
the green is the problem, is it?
Yeah. There we go. It's better.
Oh boy.
And then I just have to erase everything that isn't inside of the skirt.
Oh boy.
I did it.
It's beautiful. Okay, now do you want to look at mine again now? Just yeah.
Oh, you just want everyone to look at yours? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You know. I just wanted them to know what
A real skirt looks like.
A good version would look like.
Uh-huh.
But do you feel like you're starting to get a handle on it a little bit? Just a little?
Just a little
itty
bit,
bitty?
yeah. Just a little itty bit.
Just a little itty.
Just like that. Yeah. You crush your head. Yes. Pinch. Yes.
Peach.
Pinch.
Peach. Peach. How's it going, Corey?
I'm trying.
Are you?
Yep.
Okay, I'll believe you.
Still working on the shadows and stuff.
Oh yeah, you gotta work on the shadows and stuff.
Yeah. Like there's spots where I generalized, but then it kind of catches my eye as weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gotta fix that. It's also a little hard because parts of the dress are like translucent.
Yes, there's a little bit of translucency there because it is a very flowy skirt.
It's like I'm caught between doing kind of more of a blocky cell shaded shadow versus like a smooth gradation.
Mm. You can kind of get an idea of like what I was talking about earlier, because you know all the harsh lines that I drew earlier, they have lots of shadows on the inside on one side of them. Oftentimes, the side that has a shadow will almost immediately be met by a gradient, and then also, you know, a very harsh line where the fabric is
Hold
in
it
front of
again.
that shadow.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I could add highlights to this by looking at where there's dark, harsh lines, and then just go like, doot doot. And then suddenly this part pops out even more. No, stop it. Eh.
Having troubles?
I'm fighting with my headphones. There's a little, it has a little clippy. How's it going?
I think I'm pretty far.
Looking good. But you kind of earlier you kind of hit the nail on the head of what I was trying to say is that you don't want to go too off of like what
Exactly what's there. Because there's a lot of like
exactly.
they didn't iron the skirt.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get across pretty easily what you're trying to get across without drawing in every single one. Like when I was little, if a fold was off, I always felt like, you know, I had screwed up the drawing.
Right.
But it took time to just be like, okay, well, this looks good to my eye, so I'm happy with it. Doesn't matter that it's not exact. Like I can look at my interpretation of the skirt and I know that there's parts of it that aren't exactly the same, but pretty good.
just reviewing some chat stuff here. I see Alexa Does Nerd Stuff asked if one of us could use the select tool. Probably me. And yeah, I did. I actually used the magic wand to select. Also, my color and lines are in a different layer. So I did the selection on my line layer and then cropped the color with that.
You just had to do it in a way that hurt my insides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's part of it.
Because
Step
that's
two.
what you want. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. I am a multi-layer person. I could have even gone further and just had flats on a layer and then shading on another layer. I think that kind of method for at least blocking stuff out works well for me. Like
Yes.
because I was doing a bunch of stuff with the soft brush last month. I think maybe I'll just do stuff a little differently, but at the same time, I kind of want to stick with what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more
No,
comfortable falling back to doing it this way
and that's okay.
than whatever makes sense to ask.
Well, okay, so here's the thing is that I have been drawing, and not just drawing, because drawing has been literally my entire life. I've been drawing digitally since I was 13, so that's over 20 years now.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a lot of practice on me, like under my belt, you know. I went through the phase of like all the phases, you know. I had times where I had every single thing that I was doing in a different layer to the point where I had like 20 layers because I didn't want to screw anything up. But
Yeah.
as I got more confident, I was able to combine more layers together. And, you know, now because I've developed my style to where it is, most of my art is black line work and then a very painterly style underneath that. And those are my only layers. Except for like background layers and like some, you know, other varying like textured other lighting things on top of that. But overall, I've significantly lessened because I enjoy doing the kind of painterly style where I have learned over the years to be able to use these digital brushes in a more organic, real way.
Yeah, and I picking which brush to use, I'm still sort of stuttering with, but also like doing this as a loop fill seems like another viable option for me. Just like
Yeah. And in terms of the brush, if you want my opinion, it really just depends on what kind of end result you're looking for. Like if you just want it to be like a coloring book where you're filling in the lines, then go for something like an India ink, specifically I should say in Clip Studio Paint.
Yeah.
But like India inks are really good for that. The gouache and oil paints are my favorite personally. Because I find that they blend really nicely together, so you can get like these really beautiful blends.
Yeah.
Watercolor is really good if you want it to be nice and light and not super opaque. You're just kind of trying to create color. I mean, very much like watercolor would be used, right? You don't really want to use watercolor for saturation. So those ones are better if your work is a little bit lighter, like not like coloring book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like I really like the real pencil when I'm doing my sketching just because I enjoy that look of roughness.
Right.
It makes me feel a little bit more connected to like the sketchiness of the drawing. But yeah, like the also in the pens, like G pen, turnip pen, these ones are all really good for just like some nice solid lines. Yeah. For a really long time in Clip Studio Paint, I was using gouache. Give you an example. So you see how it kind of blends a little bit.
Yeah.
And then recently I started trying out this more oil paint.
Thick paint.
Sorta. It's like thicker, but then also somehow thinner at the same time. It's kind of weird. So like it goes on a lot thicker, right?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to actually shading, it sort of takes it a lot differently. Like I can't get this soft of a shade on the edge as I do
With
with the gouache.
Yeah.
But I do find that if I play around with it a lot more, if I like use a lot more colors, I feel like I get a better blend. It just takes me a lot longer.
Huh.
But like I like the look of this a lot more than I do the gouache. And then also this gouache blender is beautiful saver. This is what I use a lot to fix my blending issues. So yeah, like it kind of just depends on what sort of style you like. A lot of these ones at the end of the day, they sort of look the same on the image. So it's all just a matter of what you enjoy. There are people who like to be super precise. So they'll use something that's a bit more precise like this one, like the oil paint. Or they'll, you know, if they're a bit more painterly or whatever, they'll use gouache. The easiest way to find out if you like a brush is just start playing with it. Pick a color, start going around, doing shades, see how it reacts on top of each other. And then the fun thing with digital is you can also see how different brushes interact with each other. So like gouache and oil paint right next to each other. And you can kind of see like how it wants to blend.
Well, it's a little early for a break, but I think we're done with the skirt. Like, I think we're ready
Yeah,
to
I'd
move
say
on.
this is a good point for us to take a break.
Yeah. So, swap your fluids, stretch, move around a bit. Maybe look
Can
at
I get
the
a
sky.
different read on that, please?
Swap your fluids.
Can I get a different read on that, please?
Eject some liquid.
Nope.
And consume more liquid. Fill your gas tank and empty your bladder. Load it up.
But I don't need my car.
Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs.
No!
Welcome back, nerds. Please don't die. Don't choke on them. Sorry, Az just inhaled a whole box of nerds right before I got back. Sorry, Az might die here, live on tape. We'll continue watching. Today on Kendra Horses Club, we're looking at clothing and how it drapes and falls and folds. Thick or thin? Crushed and snorted them off a Bowie knife like that one guy from Breaking Bad. Exactly, Mathis. I saw it, but none of you got to see it.
No, I did the second worst thing, according to some people, which was to just down it right into my mouth from the box.
I mean, I don't know another way to do it. And then, when you... The box acts like a harmonica and makes your voice all vibrating. It's fun. Used to do that with, like, boxes of Smarties all the time.
You could be really weird like my mom and buy boxes of nerds and then transfer them into a tiny little plastic container with a screw-on lid that she then keeps in her car for, and I quote, to keep her awake while she's driving.
Could just keep a bag of wine gums in the glove box like a normal human. Yeah, wow. What were we doing? Right. Skirts. We drew some skirts.
Clothing.
What's next? If you can breathe again.
I'm fine. No, okay. So the thing I was going to continue on to is brain come back. Jordan?
No, ignore him.
Jordan.
Don't you have a Kingdom of Cards to run? Get out of here.
Yeah. Go back to your memes. Your memes on main Twitter feed.
Oh no. I'm going to recuse myself from the bird question.
Oh boy. Okay, anyway, so the next thing I'm gonna move on to is is no. Just no. Just stop. No. No. Why?
Yeah, I think Brownie Points has my number. Give
I
me
mean,
a
Cass is
large,
pretty good.
buff bird with an accordion. That bird could just princess carry anyone.
Especially Link.
Especially Link.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
That's a yes for Corey. Oh, what about me? Do I find birds sexy? I don't know. Can the asexual find birds sexy as much as an asexual can? Yes. Sure. I have no problems with furries. Let's go.
You know, I've never seen a furry bird.
I don't think I've seen a suit of them, but I have seen art of them. Eagle is a very popular one, I think.
Like Sam the Eagle? Like just like a father figure?
Yeah, probably. Oh, what'd you do this time, Corey? You're my husbando. Who are you telling?
Yeah, Evil Batman. I
have some bad news.
Offloading these questions to your friends instead of just directly asking your partner is a little sketchy, you know.
No, actually, they're not furries if they don't have fur. There's actual names for like a bunch of different versions of furries, like the ones that like reptiles and the ones that like birds, and I can't remember. I don't know any of the names. I just know that it exists.
The chart at the office has Kirby and Lightning McQueen on it, so
that's something completely different.
Also, we've totally done Anthro on this stream, so This is totally in line with art.
Art. Well, I'm still gonna put the blame on you, Jordan, for encouraging the conversation. So. Anyway, now that we're done with this nonsense, so the next thing I was going to address if we get back to the art now, is what happens when you have a very folded piece of cloth or fabric and it has a pattern on it.
Oh.
Because, that pattern's going to move. This is an art stream. Yeah, occasionally.
Thanks, Angel. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Last I heard, I could blame Angel for everything.
Yes.
Oh! Fantastic. We have an outlet. Angel, this is your fault.
Yes. Somehow.
Yep.
Wait. No, I should be defending Angel. Wait. Or am I in competition with Angel? I don't know. What's happening? Anyway.
Welcome to Just Chatting.
Oh, like anybody cares.
No, nobody does.
Let's be real. Chat is most active when we're not drawing.
I'll bring back Kirby Tour.
Ooh.
It shows up as a thumbnail when I open Clip Studio.
Okay, so you've got a Kirby.
Yeah. It's got to have 6 limbs. What are these turkey legs? What has Kirby stepped in?
You said he has 6 limbs.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so obviously you think of let's just go ahead and start with pride flags, right? Because, no, definitely not. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Excellent. I love the 4-pack of muscles.
Yeah, this is the Kirby I'm talking about. I see this Kirby every day.
Okay, so you obviously you have a flag or whatever. You have something with stripes on it. They would be straight. But if it starts to bend, obviously they would follow the bend. Right?
Right.
But then what happens when you've got like a piece of fabric that folds over itself?
They follow the bends.
Yes. So say you're splitting this in half. Well, it would go half. You might see a little bit show up there. And then if it's the same on both sides, you would see it right there. And then you bring it around and you would see it there. Right? And of course, you know, same thing goes with if there was straight patterns, you would see how to get funky as it moves and stuff like that. Oh, right. There's a theme to this episode. Yeah, it's called I'm Never Making a Serious Episode of Can't Draw Horses Ever Again. I've killed Corey.
Sorry, I'm just admiring your Bay City Rollers scarf. So what am I? Which flag?
My Bay City Rollers? What? Okay, yes. So I drew you a little flaggy flag.
Yeah, you did.
I want you to take that flag and I want you to make it look like a flag. Or like I want you to put a pattern on
activated the pattern layer.
Get rid of that pattern layer. I
No!
should have deleted it.
My secrets.
I should have
Okay.
deleted it before I sent you the file, clearly.
All right. So, pattern.
Yes, this was an example pattern that I did over the piece of fabric that I tried.
Pencil. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm gonna try.
Okay. Do it.
Middle.
Yes,
My
cooking show tech.
next layer.
Always have the meal pre-cooked and ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then more. Just half again.
And then
Uh, uh, mm, uh, uh, yep, I did it. Yep. Okay.
the whole Corey Club. It's so true, though.
I didn't though. I followed the directions.
You did it. You did. I'm very proud of you. It's beautiful.
It's like where there's the bulgy points, it would bulge out, and where there's folds inward, it would like. Corey is making a face like she's trying to get a hoop through an electric wire. Exactly. This is the same as one of those mechanical puzzles. If I do something wrong, there's a horrible buzzing noise that only I can hear.
You did it pretty good. You did it pretty good. Now draw some vertical lines.
Vert. Okay. Starting in the middle. Something like that.
Honestly, Corey should feel lucky because I was going to copy an actual flag that was actually in the wind and then make you add a pattern to that. But all the flags I found were too complicated and I didn't want to make you deal with it. So I drew this one from scratch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Yep. It's got all these evenly spaced lines.
I love it.
All right. Okay, as you have to freehand a maple leaf without looking at reference.
It's cute that you think this is going to be hard for me.
Yep. It's one of the hardest flags to draw on the planet.
The person who both lived in Canada as a child and drew many Canadian flags, but also the person does a lot of leaf and flower work in their drawings. Good night, TXC2. I don't know how to say your name. Good night. Look, I see it all the time in chat, but then I remembered I have never had to say it out loud.
You know, it's 3 letters and a number. It's a lot like a license plate.
You're a license plate.
Or like a ham radio call sign or something like that.
You're a ham radio call sign.
Or something like that.
Or something like that. Let's see, it would have these little veins, and it would go off, and then there would be a big vein, and then all these tiny little veins that go off into the little bits that go off on the edge. Because that's how plants grow. There you go. There's my maple leaf.
Mine's turning out fantastic.
It kind of looks like a chicken. Or maybe a little bit like Texas.
A chicken or Texas.
I'm still trying to figure out which one it looks more like. If it looks more like Texas or a chicken.
Say, Mathis has my number because r/place spent its entire existence trying to draw the Canadian flag, and they had to resize the flag like 20 times just to try to get the.
Really?
Yeah, no one could. You can't. It's pixel art, right? A pixel art maple leaf is really hard.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that is fair. The angles on the side. Little.
All right, here we go. The fun part. Boop 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 boop.
What's the fun part?
Pick colors.
Oh, I see.
There. Just like home. Oh, now you try.
I didn't know you wanted me to put it on the flag, you goofball. I thought you just wanted me to draw a maple leaf.
Oh, right. Where's my gold star?
Oh. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, here, hold on.
Oh. Now I need like a dressing room or a trailer to put that on the door of.
There you go. It's even got some depth. Just like you.
takedown. Ah!
Sometimes I say things.
Yeah.
I don't really think about them.
Don't worry, Ash. You have some depth too.
Oh, that's generous.
We can try drawing your America flag next if you want.
No, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I'd rather die. I'd rather go back to talking about furries.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. See? Furries are
Ah.
much more enjoyable than drawing the American flag.
When's the Lackadaisy thing coming out?
What lackadaisy? What are you talking about?
Chat knows what I'm talking about. Chat might not know what I'm talking about. There's a webcomic called
No.
Lackadaisy, and they were working on either a movie or a series. I can't remember, but I think they're getting close to finishing. But it's Anthro Speakeasy Cats.
Oh, interesting.
Gangsta.
Yeah, like I never was really like into the whole furry thing in the same way that like furries are into the furry thing. But like also I get it, right? Like I was supremely into Kurama growing up, who turns out to be, spoilers, a fox demon who runs around with fox ears a lot. And one of my first cosplays was a humanized version of Godamon. Well, I never actually wore it to a convention, but I did make it.
Did they ever have the Redwall cartoon where you were?
Can you remind me?
Mice in a Monastery?
I don't think so.
Oh.
There you go. The most Corey image ever. A Canadian flag and a gold star. Oh, Canada!
All right, keep going.
Our home native land.
Uh-huh.
To blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
Da, da. I can't remember the rest. Wow, it's really purged, huh? Probably for the best. It's been a while since I've had to say it. Ugh.
Honestly, mumblecore is very
And most country themes. Country themes. Sure. You know, the theme song.
a lot of them
for
aren't in
Canada.
English.
You know, the theme song for Canada. And the theme song.
I like our theme song a little better. It's a little less blowing stuff up.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. No. Don't want to think. No. Just, no.
Yeah, they changed the words a little to make it a little teensy bit less gendered.
Oh, how progressive of you.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? Okay, I want you to put your Chicken Texas maple flag on the big screen. Come on, do it. Yeah.
Welcome to Chicken Texas. Can I take your order?
Ah, so it's the Alberta flag.
No. The Alberta
That was a
flag's
joke.
complicated.
It is.
So is the BC one. I think Saskatchewan has a decently doable flag. Uh, should I even look up the province flags? Like BC is just like, okay, what we got? We got water, we got a sun, we got a lot of British influence, we got crops. Let's do it.
You got crops. Oh, there you go. Flag of Alberta. Oh, okay, yeah, that seems very Albertan.
Yeah,
Field.
grain. A lot of grain motifs.
I lived in Alberta from the age 5 to the age of 10. I lived in and outside of Calgary, Alberta.
So, what's your take on the Battle of Alberta?
I have no comments. Mostly because I don't remember.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
It's hockey.
Oh, I don't pay attention.
Well, I think you can guess what's happened.
2 Alberta places are in the thing.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to live in Alberta right now. That sounds like a nightmare. Oops.
That looks like a clip art of a Canadian flag. Like, you zoom out, yours looks like a good thing.
Well, that was kind of the point, right?
Wow, MTBCDM, you're right. The Republic of Venice has a very complicated flag. God, I wonder if the other Italian republics are like that, like Florence or whatever.
I mean, at least it's like the same design replicated over and over again on the right side.
You know, they didn't used to have a clone tool.
What, no copy and paste?
No,
In the flag making world?
not until photocopying.
Oops.
That flag has 5 desk drawers. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so Miss Thing, now that you're done with that, I'm going to throw you your last challenge. And we can spend basically the rest of the time on it. And you can make it as complicated or ridiculous as you want. You have fun. But there's the picture of the 2 people together. I want you to bring that one up. Not with the flag there,
No,
preferably.
it's unfortunate with the flag there.
And treat them like little anime dolls. Put some clothes on them.
Ah, that's what we do with dolls. Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Being an artist, go ahead and start. I'm going to start talking about a hilarious story. I don't know if anybody else was really in the deviant art realm back in the early 2000s.
I had an account.
But back in the day when I was on DeviantArt, and that's where I was posting all my art and stuff, there was this huge trend where people would take anime screenshots and they would copy over top of the character in the screenshot from the anime, and they would use that as a base to design characters. And it was like a really great way early on for artists who were still kind of learning to like not have to worry about the fundamentals of the human body to make a cute anime girl character for themselves or whatever. And I'm not going to get into the semantics of people's beliefs over the legitimacy of that system because I don't care. But I kind of went for the same vibe. So I found this really awesome picture of a bunch of plus size women of varying sizes, and kind of, picked out a good little set of them for you to do what you want. You can see lots of places where stuff might fold. There's the arms, so if you have a long sleeve, what's going to happen to it? It's going to start falling down. Stuff like that. Just play with it and see what you want to do. Have fun.
Yeah.
And feel free to overwrite the undergarments that I drew in. Oh, I do really love the idea that the Venetian Republic flag is just like those flyers where you have a little tear off.
Yeah.
What do I feel like putting the person in? Yeah.
What?
Ooh, spiky.
Yeah. Almost painted on my line layer.
Can't do that.
Nope.
looked up and I saw
Uh-huh.
what you're doing.
Yeah?
I just thought it was funny.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I should probably use, like, the ink for this. Yeah. Don't want it blending.
Yeah. No blending in this house.
No.
Yes. The one duck.
Ha!
Or is it a goose?
It's probably a goose.
I'm just happy y'all can't hear. Well, I mean, maybe you can hear it, but you can't. The people above us moving in.
Ah. I'm also glad. I cannot hear that. Although,
I think they heard us talking about them.
yeah, I think one of your geese found a squeaky toy out there.
They're. It looks like somebody threw just an entire slice of bread in the pond.
That would do
Like
it.
just us, multiple, just full slices of bread directly into the water. Oh yeah, no, you're not nearly as loud as any of the honkies. Honks. Hunksman.
Don't worry, Peach. We can't hear you.
Honkingtons. Gander takers. So who's gonna be hanging out with the wolves? Wolvesmen.
I don't know yet. But there's an artist on Twitter named Kevin Wada who produces a bunch of X-Men paper dolls for people to do like costume redesigns over top of that are
Oh.
really cool. So I wanted to do a
Also,
classic Wolverine first.
oh, classic and new wave. So many bad gander puns.
Well, like, what's good for the stream is good for the gander.
Sure.
Do you really like how like thick and vibrant the indie ink brush comes on?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't think being stranded in Newfoundland is a universal or Newfoundland airport is a universal problem.
Well, so it's Newfoundland and Labrador. Come on. No, I'm kidding. Ah, gotta stretch my hand out.
Yeah, stretch the hand.
All right. Second person. Same as the first person. No. Two Wolverines in love.
No, you have to do a modern Wolverine.
A modern Wolverine, but that's just tighter
Yeah.
leather.
Fine. Wolverine in street clothes.
No, I was gonna draw like a sheet ghost. So,
A sheet go. Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to see that. I think.
it's basically exactly what the stream is about.
You know, now that you put it like that, you make a good point. Go ahead and draw a sheet ghost. Sheet cake. I don't think you can draw sheet cake on somebody. Although now that I say that, if anybody were to try, it would be Corey.
Maybe.
Maybe. No, I fulfill requests of all kinds in it on any show. There. There's your cake. It's on the head. I hope you're happy. Enjoy your cake head. This is what happens. Chat.
Cat loves cake.
They do.
All kinds. Jaffa, non-Jaffa.
A lot of Jaffa obsession today.
Yep.
Oh boy. It's beautiful. I love it. Making friends with a sheet ghost. I don't know, but
They're at a convention.
It's precious.
It's Halloween. It's a party. Anything. Could be any reason. Why wouldn't Wolverine be friends with a ghost?
You know, now that you put it that way, I do kind of regret my choice in words.
Good.
Just because you are
Mean, yes.
Yeah, so precious and important. Do 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 do. Oh, that's Wolverine has made enough ghosts. He should be a friend of a few.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, but like also,
ouch.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, we are coming up to the end
And
of the hour.
the end of the hour. Oh no. Whatever will we do?
Well, I don't know. Like, I got another stream today.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
You would probably appreciate the chance to, relax before then.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
But first, tell me about your outfits.
I will. Let me make it so that they're a little easier to see first. You entertain chat for a second. It'll be okay, I promise. I promise you can survive.
Tell us about ponies. Well, they're like horses, but they're a lot smaller. And I wouldn't recommend riding them, but they still have a lot of pulling power. So you can hitch them to carts and things like that. Can you draw them? No.
What do you think caused this show to exist? Next question.
I like ponies. They're cute.
Have you seen just how tiny some tiny ponies can get?
Like a miniature horse? Like a pony pony? Like a little one?
Yeah.
It's
terrifying.
I've seen some that are the size of small dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not as, like, if you take, like, a standard, like, quarter horse foal and compare that to a pony, I like the foal more. Like, they're just really awkward and skinny.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Whereas the little ponies, like the little miniature horses, do the little trot thing that's very cute. Horses don't like to go over like ledges or lines and roads. No. Like if you walk them over train tracks, it's usually a good idea to like cover their eyes so they don't panic.
Yeah.
But little teeny tiny horses just gotta get like a run up at anything that's scary, like the door frame on a house.
Like the door frame.
Yeah.
You know, that whole door frame thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a line on the ground. It could be anything.
I know.
They don't know how deep it is. If they get a hoof stuck in there, they're dead. Like,
oh, trust me, I used to have a horse. I know how stupid they can be. Loved her to death, but
when they panic,
I've had
really
dogs who are smarter than horses.
And yet, horses are very similar to dogs.
Yeah.
They like to roll around. They like to sniff each other's butts. They like to play ball. They like treats a lot.
Like a lot.
They pay a lot of attention to humans.
Okay. So, other than the goofy hats that I made that I'm not filling in.
What?
Okay, fine. What color should the cake be?
Pink.
Pink cake.
I also appreciate ponies as like a budget option as opposed to horses. Like if you're not going out and riding, then stabling a horse is a lot of work and expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas smaller animals don't eat as much.
especially when they refuse to be taught how to be ridden, even though you've paid a lot of money to have a professional teach them, and they just still refuse to actually be ridden, and so you end up just having a pet horse that you sell because you can't really
Some
keep a horse that doesn't want to be pet or
some
ridden.
horses are assholes.
She was an asshole. Yes, this is
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah. Even
I have
if you do train them for riding or like even trail riding, like super friendly
yeah.
stuff, if you got an asshole horse, they will just try to scrape you off.
Yeah, no, she thought she was a pet and like that's it. She was just like, "No, you're supposed to give me love and attention and treats and take me for walkies and that's it. You don't get anything else from me. You don't get to ride me.
Yeah.
That's not how this works."
One of the things I was thinking about doing for club was looking at drag competitions for
Ooh.
like workhorses. They're really cool. Just like dragging a sled up a little incline or something like that. There's so much power.
There you go.
We did it.
So, clothing. Just because I'm going to try and teach you a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So, in a similar fashion to how I was talking about gravity, obviously, this right here, the sleeve is starting to kind of fall down a little bit because of gravity, right? So there would be folds and stuff similar to that blanket technique that I showed you. And then the little crop, obviously, there's boobles, has a tendency to flow around the boobles.
No boob socks.
No boob socks here. And then, like, you know, you've got down here with a pair of shorts, especially if they're folded up. You've got lots of folds, so you can see that. But, like, I didn't really go very specific. I just kind of gave the illusion of it. And then you go over here, you got, like, you know, bits of the jeans or whatever. And then same with the shoes. These are my laziest shoes I've probably ever drawn. And that's saying something. But you know, you see how this foot's sort of up on the toes, and so there's a lot of fold right here, down here in the little part, and there's the folds right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's lots of folds on shoes that you may not think about. And then over here, we've got a nice skirt. And you see, because, you know, over here you still have the lines from what would be shorts. Skirts, they don't have that, so they go a little bit more all the way across, depending on how the legs are positioned. You know, sometimes it might be a little bit more like one part of the skirt is farther forward, and that's because this leg is farther forward than this leg.
You got a scoochie view.
Whoop,
There
right
you go.
there. So you've got this, and you have this leg,
Yeah.
and you've got this leg, so this part of the fabric is in front. But so like the folds would kind of follow like that too. And then the other part being pinned down, you can see how, like, if you have a shirt that's buttoned up, like these are our little buttons, you can see how the buttons will create tension in the fabric. So they'll start to pull, and then this is the part of the fabric that's connected, so it'll also get a little bit of that. Not as much, but it'll still have a little bit of folds from that. So you can, you know, that shows like how thick or thin or how well, you know,
Tense.
made, yeah,
tight.
the fabric is. Yeah. And then like there's a little bit of a hips swivel, so you do there, stuff like that. And then like there's always going to be a bit of bunching if you have like a high top at the shoulders because the neck curve, stuff like that. But you start to get a little bit of the basics down. You start to, you know, pay more attention to this sort of stuff, and you kind of are able to slowly get a feel for how the fabric would lay, and really just go off of your own eye. If it feels like it looks right, then good. Screw the naysayers.
Excellent. This was good. This was very
Yeah.
good. Thank you,
Good.
guys. I learned a lot,
I'm glad.
despite everything.
Also, both of them had a different interpretation of cake, so take your pick.
Griddle cakes, please.
Good choice.
Yes. I'm going to take some subs, because I'm going to end the stream
Subs.
here. I'm going to run ads when I go offline. But first, thank you to Allness49 for 61 months. Time to find out how a horse would wear pants. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Cheever, 66 months. Hi, as Peggy and I enjoyed running into you again at TJ's. Frankenstein, 52 months, the 1 year. Jolly 6100, 7 months. Oh, Art Nice. Narset gave us 49 months. Thank you. Thanks Internet is a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel. And Darkora, 19 months. Serious episodes aren't real. They can't hurt you. Awesome.
Don't worry, we'll do the most ridiculous, nonsensical bullshittery the next time I'm on.
All right, let's see. Schedule. All right, coming up, we're playing Jackbox and Crossing the Streams at 5. Tomorrow, they're continuing Ocean Block on 9 o'clock. Then we are continuing Disco Elysium on Talking Simulator. And there's more Bloodborne in the evening on Let's Nope. This week, we are restarting our Gloomhaven Plate Forward on Thursday. So that is, I think, the most out of left field thing that's happening. I'm still doing my Plate Forward Thursday through Sunday mornings.
Woo!
Yeah! Explosions! Video games. Yes.
Hearing Alloy say the same line 5 times in a row as you slowly circle around in a nightmare of trying to figure out what's going on.
Right? She just yells about things, and I have no idea what she's talking about, because I'm like...
Hey, Corey, did you ever get those scrappers?
No!
Corey, did you ever get the scrappers?
I'm inside of a building, Aloy. Why are you doing this to me?
Did you get the scrappers?
Ah, I did.
Red needs them.
No. Okay, I'm going to look at actually Tammy's post. Oh! That is way off task, but I can see...
I think it's pretty.
Bold. The end. Goodbye.
Oh, okay, bye.
What?
I'll miss
You're
you,
not-
chat.
You're not expecting that? Okay, do you have anything you wanted to shout out?
No, I can't think of anything. Nope.
All right. Then goodbye.
I love you.
All right.
That's my call out to chat. I love you.
Have a good one.
Bye.